Welcome back, and welcome to the final video of my AI governance series. Now, across the last 4 videos, I've covered a lot of ground. I've covered the NIST Cyber AI profile, the NIST CSF 2.0, the full global framework landscape, agentic standards, the EU AI Act, amongst others. And I really wanted to give you the full picture before I went ahead and narrowed the lens. And we narrowed the lens. I want to introduce you to something that we've been building at Z Cyber because it's directly connected to the problem that this entire series has been circling around. And that's the gap between having the frameworks and actually operationalizing them. Two different things that we're going to bring together inside of what we've been building. Here's the framing I want this series to be remembered for. AI isn't a technology problem with a governance layer on top. It's actually the governance problem that happens to run on the technology. And when you look at it through a cybersecurity lens, that distinction matters tremendously. Every single risk that we've covered across the series is honestly made worse by the absence of governance. Shadow AI expanding your attack surface without visibility or controls, that's the number one issue. Prompt injection targeting applications nobody threat modeled for. Agentic systems taking autonomous actions with permissions that no one's formally scoped. Model poisoning in your supply chain that your vendor risk program wasn't built to catch. And none of these are purely technology failures. There's definitely some technology overlap, but they're not purely on the tech. Every single one of those, though, has a governance dimension. Who owns it? Who approved it? Who is accountable for when it goes wrong? What policy governed the decision to deploy it in the first place? The organizations that govern well don't move slower, they move more confidently because they've answered the hard questions before they need them. That's not bureaucracy, that's competitive advantage. I want to make this concrete because this week gave us a perfect example of exactly what ungoverned AI looks like when it goes wrong. I'm talking about Vercel. It's one of the most widely used web infrastructure platforms in the world. Breached this week, and here's how it started. A Vercel employee downloaded a third-party AI tool, in this case Context.ai, and connected it to their corporate Google account. No governance around that decision. No vendor risk review for an AI tool with OAuth access to a corporate identity. The attacker used that connection to take over the employee's Google Workspace account and pivot directly into Vercel's internal systems. Now, I'm consolidating that, but at the end of the day, credentials were exposed. Data went on sale on breach forums for $2 million. And Vercel's own CEO said he strongly suspected that the attacking group was significantly accelerated by AI, noting that they moved with surprising velocity and in-depth understanding of the environment. I want you to let that land for a second. An ungoverned third-party AI tool was the entry point. An AI accelerated adversary was on the other side. That's not a theoretical scenario from a framework document. This literally happened 4 days ago. That's the consequence of the governance gap that I've been talking about this entire series. Shadow AI, ungoverned third-party AI vendor risk, no accountability structure for what employees are connecting to the corporate identity. Every single one of those is a governed problem, and every single one of those is addressable if you have the program infrastructure to address it. The frameworks exist. NIST, HITRUST, OWASP, the EU AI Act, the AIUC, amongst others. The tools to govern AI well are available and they're maturing fast. But here's the honest reality of where most security and risk programs are right now. GRC work is being managed across spreadsheets, disconnected documents, and manual processes that weren't built for the pace that business is moving at. Maybe you have a tool or some other technology, but for the most part, it's not managed correctly. Risk assessments take weeks. Board reporting assembled from 10 different sources the night before. Maturity evaluations that happen once a year and then sit on a shelf somewhere because it checked a compliance box. Third-party risk programs that never asked AI vendor questions. AI governance layered on top of all of it as another manual workstream that nobody has the bandwidth to run properly. And you can look at that by asking how your team is managing that work today. Chances are the answer looks a lot like what I just described, and that's not a people problem. That's a program design problem. And we've spent the last several months in the field hearing it directly and building the answer to it. And I'm proud to announce that that answer is called Glance. And I want to be clear about what Glance is because it's not just an AI governance tool. It's the ultimate GRC platform. and it's built for the modern cybersecurity program. Governance, risk, and compliance that's designed for the world your organization is actually operating in right now, and AI is natively built into it from the ground up. It's not bolted on, it's not added as a tab, not as an afterthought. AI is built into the foundation of Glance because it's a fundamental part of your security landscape that requires proper GRC alignment. And that's how we've designed it from day one. So here's what Glance actually delivers. Glance gives you a mature, well-rounded cybersecurity program in one place. You get cybersecurity maturity evaluation across your controls, continuous validation so your posture reflects where you actually are today, not where you were 6 months ago when that last assessment ran. Risk evaluation with real guidance, not just a score, but practical direction on how to actually perform a risk assessment, how to build a business impact analysis, how to run third-party risk management against your vendor ecosystem, including your AI vendors. The Vercel breach started with an ungoverned third-party AI tool. They're not the first, and they're certainly not the last. Glance is built to make sure that question gets asked before the tool gets deployed. Glance also provides board and executive level reporting that's ready when you need it. It's not something that's assembled the night before, not translated manually from some technical dashboard off in no man's land. It's clean, it's current, it's defensible governance, and it's directly inside of the platform. It gives your board, your CEO, and the risk committee the picture they need to make informed decisions. You also receive a dedicated cyber AI governance module, and that's built around all the frameworks that we've covered in this series so far where it's available. That's the Cyber AI Profile, the CSF 2.0, HITRUST, and more. Your AI inventory, your agentic AI exposure, third-party AI vendor risk, all governed inside the same platform as the rest of your cybersecurity program because that's where it belongs. Now, here's what makes Glance genuinely different if you didn't get that already. It's advisor-led. We have two deployment options. You get software only, and that's for teams that want the platform and have the internal capability to run with it. Or you can do advisor supported, where a highly experienced Z-Cyber practitioner works alongside your team, guides your program, helps you execute, communicates with you, and responds when you need them, all from one portal, the same platform, the same single pane of view, just with a practitioner in it with you. Now, that combination, platform plus advisor built into one, is what turns governance from a document into a program. Now, we're not fully launched yet. Early access is coming soon. If you're a CISO, a CIO, CRO, CTO, or a GCR leader watching this and you want to be among the first to see what we built, reach out directly. We want to talk to you before we launch and let you drive it. Three things before I let you go. If the Vercel breach this week sounds familiar, if your organization has employees using third-party AI tools connected to your corporate identity without a formal vendor risk review, and they probably are, we're going to really have to target that this week. That's a governed gap and it's exploitable today. Now, reach out about Glance Early Access. If what I described sounds like the program your organization needs to build, that's exactly who we built it for. And I want you to stay close for our next series. We're going to talk about AI security in practice. That's the tactical execution layer, the attack vectors, the agentic governance problem, the program building conversation that sits on top of everything else that we've covered here. All that's coming, and it's going to be the most practically useful content that we've produced so far. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.